Careful, careful! Precision! Precision! Welcome. This is Spices and Such. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Now, today we will be creating something that is near and dear to all of our hearts, making a loaf of sandwich bread. Now, doing so always reminds me of my childhood and brings up tender memories of a slice of lovely bread and jelly and peanut butter. And hopefully, by doing so, it can have the same effect on you. Now, I'm going to have my associate, Eric Wilson, assisting me today. Now, in order to create a loaf of bread, one must understand the history and biology of yeast. Saccharomyces cerevisiae has been employed by intrepid chefs such as yourself for thousands of years. It's been used to ferment wine and beer, but today we'll be using it to raise bread. Now, yeast is able to do so by converting the sugars present in dough into pockets of carbon dioxide. Moving on, today we will be creating one of the dough's biggest components, the bigger. It will be combined with additional salt, yeast, flour, honey, butter, milk, soft shuffling. Salt, yeast, honey, butter, milk, and other such things. Now, in traditional sandwich baking, the dough is assembled and baked all within the time frame of one day. However, by splitting the bread making process into several segments, I find that the bread is superior as the dough is allowed to rest. The change in temperature gives it a nice tang, and the resulting product will be far superior. First, we will add 3/4 cup water, very slowly. Nice water. Don't touch the measuring spoons. These are the crucial elements of baking. We need precision, and if these have been contaminated, if they have any germs, if they have any little bumps or little pieces of little matter in them, the measuring will be incorrect. These are the baker's sacred tool.
Oh dear.
Don't mock. You're here to assist me today,
Yes.
not waste space and consume my air. Now, after we've added 3/4 cup of water, we will proceed to clean out the measuring cup. This is done because once we add the flour, little sticky bits will get inside and is rather unseemly, as well as the fact that you're not getting all the flour that you need, and the measurement loses its accuracy, which is, of course, an extraordinary problem in baking. Now, I will be using whole wheat flour, which I find adds a nice texture, yet it also adds many nutritional benefits. We're going to be adding 1 3/4 cup. We're going to start by adding 1 cup. Once again, we must be precise, exactly to the line. If we are not, your bread will be rumen. Here we are, very slowly, very carefully adding the flour in. It is crucial. No swaying movements. Stand straight. What if you were to knock something over, God forbid? Now, the 3/4 cup of additional flour, just as important as the first cup, for we must have the precise balance. Poured in. If you're going to observe, do so carefully. Always make sure you clean as you go, so things are not in your way. Now, we'll be adding the crucial element of yeast next. We'll be adding precisely 1/4 tablespoon. If you add too much yeast, your loaf of bread will inflate like a balloon. If you add too little, it'll be as though it was a brick. You'll bite into something hard and very unappealing. Now we will bring this down very carefully, slowly, and put it to one. Let it mix. You see it's coming together quite nicely. The water is combining with the flour, and the yeast is becoming mixed in. If you get too close, you're going to catch that nose into the blender. Do you want that?
I think
not. Now, we let it mix. It's coming together very nicely. Keeping your eye on it is quite lovely. The bigger, very important, the bread making process. Yes. I remember my first loaf of bread, and I was not precise. I did not monitor. The loaf was a disaster. It fell in upon itself. Do you want to observe? You see how it is coming together quite nicely. You see this? You observe? Can you replicate this?
I think so.
You think so? That is another element of baking. You can never think. You need to be exact. You need to be precise. You can't let human emotions affect the bread making process, or else your bread will be terrible. Now, get everything into the bowl so we can proceed to knead. You want to be careful. You want to have all the elements in the bowl, or else your bread turn out not quite like what you had hoped it would be. Now, we will then proceed to place the kneading mechanism upon the mixer, like so. Put it up, quarter turn, back down once more. Would you like to turn on the mechanism?
Should I?
Turn on the mechanism. Turn on the mechanism. Very good. Let go of the mechanism! You cannot have it go up to more than one. Could have just destroyed everything we've been working towards. This is a machine. It's very dangerous. You don't play around with it. You could be really risking your life, your bread's life. You should be ashamed. You know, I've seen people attempt to make bread. They crank it up like this, and they watch the bread get destroyed. But we're not going to do that today. We're going to be slow and methodical and watch as it is kneaded very nicely. Kneading is quite important because it strengthens the gluten in the bread. Yes. Kneading, feeling the dough in your hands. Today we don't have time to do so, but kneading, I can tell you, is quite an experience. Now, that the dough has been kneaded, we will proceed to cover it, put it in the refrigerator overnight. We can get it out tomorrow, add the additional ingredients, and proceed to bake. Thank you. Ta-ta for now.